Rock music isn't just about epic riffs, wild tours, and stadium anthems. Behind the glamour lies a ruthless world full of ego clashes, substance abuse, power struggles, and the relentless grind of fame. And sometimes, when things hit boiling point, bandmates don't just part ways. They kick you out. Today on Rock Lore, we're counting down 15 musicians who were brutally sacked from their bands. Some deserved it, some didn't, but every story changed rock history. Stick around because our number one spot is so infamous, it literally reshaped the future of heavy metal. Before Ringo Starr, there was Pete Best. From 1960 to 1962, Pete kept the beat as the Beatles honed their chops in Hamburg's clubs and Liverpool's cavern. But just as fame came knocking in '62, manager Brian Epstein, backed by the band, replaced him with Ringo. Why? Some say Pete's drumming wasn't sharp enough. Others say he didn't match the Beatles' image. Whatever the reason, Pete Best was pushed out on the eve of history. Brutal. But if you think that was cold, wait until you hear how the Rolling Stones treated one of their own. Brian Jones wasn't just a founding stone, he was their first leader, a multi-instrumental wizard who gave the band its early flavor. But by 1969, his drug use and alienation from Mick Jagger and Keith Richards made him unreliable. In June '69, the band announced his departure. Less than a month later, Jones was found dead in his swimming pool. Officially, death by misadventure. His firing remains one of rock's most tragic sackings. If you think that's rough, wait until you hear about Metallica's infamous axe job. Metallica's original lead guitarist, Dave Mustaine, was booted in 1983, just as the band was about to record Kill 'Em All. His crime? Heavy drinking, violent outbursts, and drug use that made him impossible to manage. One morning, they shoved him on a Greyhound bus back to LA, no warning, no second chance. Out of bitterness, Mustaine formed Megadeth and helped invent thrash metal. His firing was savage but legendary. But our next story isn't about anger. It's about a visionary mind lost in the fog of psychedelics. Syd Barrett was the soul of early Pink Floyd, the writer of The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and the architect of their trippy sound. But by 1968, his LSD use and mental health issues caused unpredictable behavior. Sometimes he'd freeze mid-song, or not play at all. The band quietly stopped picking him up for rehearsals. David Gilmour, brought in to help, simply replaced him. Syd's dismissal was heartbreaking, but it saved Pink Floyd's future. Tragic, right? But our next firing shows how even early heavy metal legends aren't immune. Before Bruce Dickinson's soaring vocals, Iron Maiden had Paul Di'Anno, raw, punky singer who powered their first two albums. But his hard partying and cocaine addiction made him unreliable. In 1981, Steve Harris and manager Rod Smallwood pulled the plug. Dickinson stepped in and took Maiden to the stratosphere. Di'Anno's exit was brutal, but it set the stage for Maiden's glory days. But speaking of brutal, the Prince of Darkness himself didn't escape the axe. Ozzy wasn't just Sabbath's frontman, he was their identity. But by 1979, his constant drug and alcohol abuse derailed the band. Tony Iommi and the crew had no choice. Ozzy had to go. It nearly destroyed him. But then came Blizzard of Oz and a solo career that made him bigger than ever. Ozzy's firing is proof that sometimes getting kicked out can be the best thing that ever happens. From heavy metal to punk, our next story shows how image can matter more than talent. Matlock co-wrote many Pistols anthems, including Pretty Vacant. But in 1977, Johnny Rotten and Malcolm McLaren pushed him out. The official reason? He liked the Beatles. Truthfully, it was clashes with Rotten. He was replaced by Sid Vicious, who couldn't really play, but looked like a punk star. Style beat substance, and Matlock was out. Our next sacking is another tale of addiction, but this time it tore apart Guns N' Roses. Adler's drumming gave Appetite for Destruction its swing, but heroin consumed him. By 1990, missed sessions and unreliable performances pushed the band to fire him. Adler sued, won royalties, but his career never recovered. His sacking wasn't just brutal, it showed how fragile greatness can be. Next up, Rush, yes, even Canada's nicest band had a firing. Ruthlessly drummed on Rush's 1974 debut, but his diabetes and dislike of touring made life on the road impossible. The band dismissed him quietly and brought in Neil Peart. Ruthlessly's departure was sad, but it opened the door to prog rock greatness. But our next case? A guitarist who bankrolled Nirvana's first album only to be dropped.
That's all. And fifthly, the
Everman funded Bleach literally paid for it. But Cobain and Novoselic decided he wasn't a fit. They dropped him after a few months. He later joined Soundgarden briefly, then left music entirely, ending up as a decorated U.S. Special Forces soldier. A wild afterlife for a brutal sacking. But for pure ugliness, nothing beats the Eagles.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. It'd be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle.
Eagles' infighting was legendary. Guitarist Don Felder often clashed with Glenn Frey and Don Henley. In 2001, after years of power struggles, they flat out fired him.
Any time of year, you can find it here. 10, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had.
Felder sued, sparking one of rock's nastiest legal battles. His sacking remains one of the most bitter splits in classic rock. And Pink Floyd? Yes, they fired two of their own. During the Wall sessions in 1979, Roger Waters pushed Wright out over creative and personal conflicts. Wright returned only as a paid session musician, humiliating for a founding member. Ironically, when Waters left, Wright was reinstated. Proof that rock revenge sometimes comes slow. Comma. Next, Red Hot Chili Peppers, where wrong chemistry killed the vibe. Navarro joined in '93, bringing Jane's Addiction swagger. But his heroin use and stylistic clash with the band made things toxic. By 1998, they fired him. The Chili Peppers brought back John Frusciante, and their chemistry returned. Navarro's exit was survival, not scandal. Our number 2 story? Def Leppard axing their own founding guitarist. Willis co-wrote many early hits, but by 1982, his drinking sabotaged Pyromania sessions. Joe Elliott and producer Mutt Lange replaced him with Phil Collen. The result? A mega-hit album that made Def Leppard stars but left Willis on the outside, one of rock's coldest dismissals, and finally, the number 1 most infamous firing in rock history. Hey, rock lore community! Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow, you're becoming a member of the Rocklore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger. Yes, him again, because no firing shaped rock history more. In '83, Metallica ditched Mustaine, paving the way for Kirk Hammett. Fueled by rage, Mustaine formed Megadeth and turned his bitterness into thrash metal history. His firing wasn't just brutal, it changed the entire genre forever. The journey doesn't end here, rock warrior. Watch this next.